Hey guys, this is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC. Joining me this week is Tommy.
This better work throughout the entire show. Sorry, guys.
And back from a little vacation, we got Mike.
What's up, guys? We are barreling through 2022 Electric Boogaloo. I am back after a very nice and very enjoyable vacation. And I wasn't here to talk about the return of my second favorite wrestler, so I'm sure I'll mention her many times as we go throughout the show, even though that's not really on the agenda. The Claudio / Bayley cast is on the agenda.
Yeah, if all things to you to be on vacation for, but you were definitely joining us on the live chat, which is always fun, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
Excuse me. We're going to be talking a bit about Impact Emergence today. It is the Impact Plus show going on this Friday, believe it or not. And we'll have more information on that as well. But first, I guess we should just jump right into it because the man's retired and still finding ways to make news. And, of course, we all know who we're talking about here. That is, of course, Vince McMahon. Running up the bar tab, if you will. Oh. Yeah. So
did I don't know if you guys heard this joke. Someone said, I forget, it was either on Twitter, Instagram, somewhere. Someone said he paid more money in hush money than he did for WCW, and I fell out laughing.
You know, I never even checked on that. Is it true?
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, at this point, I was like, when I heard that, I was like, ha, that's fun. Wait, is that true?
I think it is because I feel like I remember that story being that like he got it super cheap.
Yeah, Jericho always saying I don't know.
What was the merger that time? Was it Time Warner? No,
AOL Time Warner.
Whatever the merger
AOL Time
was,
Warner. Yeah,
AOL Time. There you go. That had been trying to get them off, like sell WCW a while anyways. So
yeah,
I'm sure it was like a cheap buy for McMahon.
Was it Jericho that always said, like, if he didn't known it was that cheap, he would have paid for it?
Yeah, like that was in I think it was the Rise and Fall of WCW DVD. Because I remember, because every time I hear about the price of WCW at that time, I remember that joke. So, so I was just like, yo, did he really pay that cheap for it? Like, because like I laughed when I first heard the joke, like, more in hush money. And I was like, wait, what did he pay for WCW? Because that could be true.
If you're watching, you know that information offhand. Go ahead, put it in the chat because I don't remember what it was. It seems like so long ago. But and by the way, you're watching us live on the Countdown City Geekcast Facebook and also on the Countdown City Geeks YouTube channel. Appreciate it. If you're catching us after our live show, feel free to comment as well as you watch along with the show. So yeah, it's the funny thing is this recent bit of news, this extra $5 million that has been added to Vince's bar tab. We'll just call it that. It didn't come from an outside source. This was through WWE as they were investigating how they had to correct their books, going back to what the money, their earnings and stuff like that from previous years. They discovered there was another $5 million on there, so that brings the tab up to $19.6 million. And yeah, they have to kind of update all that accounting stuff like that. It wasn't accounted for, but are they going to find more? Is somebody going to find more, or is this where we're topping off here? Just shy of $20 million.
No, we're going to find more. There's no way that's it. No way.
Yeah, like, and again, these are the ones that they found, and I hate to say it like this. These may have been the ones who felt the need to get paid off or agree to that. Given, again, and this is speculation, I'm not saying any of this is true, just kind of going out, given what we've seen so far, that's not a behavior that you just randomly do every 6-7 years spaced out. I feel like that's something you were doing consistently for a pretty decent amount of time. And I also probably feel like further back in the 70s, 80s, they didn't even feel like he needed to like sell and pay them off because it was
just
far
part of
more
the
accepted
culture.
than
Yeah.
Right. Again, just assumptions and things I'm kind of speculating on. But a lot of these payments seem to come at least from the late 90s Attitude Era. Can't imagine for that, so
Yeah. Cecil, saludos, what's up? Thanks for joining us.
Hey, what's up, man?
what's up, Cecil?
Yeah, this is like you said, there is probably a lot more. But again, that was the culture of the late 80s or the mid 80s, early 90s at that point. So hey Bernty, what's up?
Berncy!
This is it's this is part of the whole I guess cancel culture, Me Too thing, the stuff coming out. And the thing is, because they've paid off these NDAs, these women can't come forward and say anything. You know, they made the agreement. Like Vince still has this over their heads. Like if they actually go public with anything, he can sue them for the money he basically paid for.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, they could also give the money back, and we see what happens from there. But we'll see if that's an option.
One quick interjection on the question from earlier. According to Sportskeeda, Vince paid $2.5 million to acquire WCW, and an additional $1.9 million for the tape library of WCW, coming out to a total of only $4.2 million for the whole kit and caboodle. So,
are you for
one
real?
of these payments?
Wow.
That's what Sportskeeda's website said.
Does it adjust for
They had a
inflation?
little story about it. I doubt it. I'm assuming that was the amount at the time.
Yeah. Cecil has a quick question.
At the time, so.
Yeah, Cecil, thoughts on Triple Mania? I know that's coming up in October, Mexico City. I know I'm interested in seeing Taya versus Thunder Rosa from that, but yeah.
Oh, I forgot that was already coming up.
Yeah.
Huh?
So.
Well, apparently now AAA does like a few Triple Manias a year. I heard some
Yeah, 3 shows. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not just the one show. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they had one back in June.
Yeah, I think it's April, June, and then October. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, those are 3 days, and I think there's some hair versus hair and mask versus mask. I think there's a mask versus mask. I think it's Blue Demon Jr.
Always the same
Clown.
Lucha Libre shows.
Yeah,
for sure.
Of course. So yeah, there's more to be announced as well with that, but that does look pretty interesting too. Yeah, it just sucks because it's like, okay, WWE is trying to just move on from this, and this stuff keeps coming out.
Yeah,
there's going to be more. That's the sad part, but it's But
I'm sorry. I find it interesting in the few shows since it's changed how many little shots they've taken at like things are different now. That's kind of interesting.
They've been honest about it, and I mean that kind of segues into our next thing we're going to talk about. Is it watchable again? The things I've noticed, and my Mondays have been pretty busy the past couple months with my daughter's softball team, but still, when I'm able to see it, it's crazy because the commentary seems a bit more relaxed. It seems a lot more fun. You've heard Michael Cole taking subtle shots, like he's been having someone scream in his ear for 25 years, so it's kind of a welcome thing. The promos, they're not as heavily scripted. They seem more natural, bullet points, things that you want, And then, of course, the appearances. Mike, you mentioned the Bayley surprise at SummerSlam, the Dexter Loomis thing we had going on, and someone's theorizing that they're going to bring this whole group back, and they're going to be the ones to help Austin Theory cash in his title.
Yeah.
Mike.
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
I keep it. I'm sorry. There's just some stuff for this past week and being on last week. But dear God, like I tweeted, give me Index back because it was legitimately the greatest wrestling love story of generation. It is up there with Macho Man and Elizabeth in kayfabe, because apparently, even as they were doing that WWE, they were already divorced. But that story was done so great. There was no turn at the wedding like you're used to in wrestling things. Like, they were given such weird stuff, and Indy put herself into it. Dexter was just perfect in his character. And then, of course, the budget cuts came and screwed up that whole thing. So, Triple H back, give me Index, please. Yeah.
Hope so.
Yeah. So, a couple things. One, I read, like, someone made a joke that because HBK is in charge of trying to contact Johnny Gargano, and someone said he's outside of his house with a boombox playing Rebel Heart. and honestly, if this is the revival arc of the Johnny Gargano anime, I am 100% for this. So, but also, dude, I don't know if you guys heard this, but the constant joke now is that those budget cuts were for these payments that Vince had to make.
Yeah.
You know, like, were they discovering it, and then the Wall Street Journal picked up on it, and then just kind of went from there?
Well, however this went down, Laurinaitis had to go. Like, so that tells me that might legitimately be part of it, because they had to get rid of Laurinaitis.
In all fairness, he should have been gone a while ago, and he should have been put back. But that's all. By the way, B Ninja, what's up? You see you in the chat.
B Ninja.
Yeah, I was waiting for a little break here to say, miss you too, buddy. Thanks for shooting me that message about Samurai Showdown finally getting rollback netcode. I cannot wait. Has re-upped my passion to play again. I know I've been a softball coach and doing this, but finding out that there's finally getting rollback, the thing we've been asking for since the game freaking debuted in 2019. Thank you, SNK, for listening. And then I'm getting my Samurai Showdown characters in King of Fighters. I can't wait for that too. So,
also, real quick, I feel this is very important to say while we're talking about the Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis stuff. Fire Kevin Dunn. Okay, I'm good.
Oh, but okay, I gotta throw this.
Yeah. So.
Well, I gotta throw this in too. I've actually some stories that even if he did get fired, there are some people with influence in WWE that like his style and his quick cuts, and that even if he were to leave, now him being gone in the back and his influence that they've talked about with Vince about holding people back, because like he didn't think Becky Lynch was enough to be a women's champion. That stuff being gone is good.
Yeah,
I don't know if the visual presentation will change as much, according to some things I read. So that'll be interesting to see.
I mean, the visual presentation is fine. I mean, that's something WWE's had a leg up on for so many years. They've got that part down. It's more
not the video package, but it's just his cuts. Like,
it'll
be like one move, and there's like 9 cuts within half a second. You're like, what?
Yeah. But yeah, I will say this. It's been enjoyable to see WWE again, and to have competition. It's starting to feel like a true competition, not necessarily a Monday Night War because they're on separate nights, but it's getting back to where I feel like everything is watchable, and I can sit down and watch wrestling any night of the week and just enjoy it.
I feel like in AEW already has started stepping up after all this started. I feel like a lot of the matches are like crisper. Not that they were resting on their laurels before, but it just feels like a lot of guys are stepping up. I think both to kind of show everyone what they've been missing, and also because I think honestly they kind of want to impress Triple H. Impressing Vince is who cares, but Triple H,
right.
Because I honestly think because JR said it best interview. It's not like I said, they're not trying to run WWE out of business. That's ridiculous. Never going to happen. Even less likely now. Like I said, if it was going to kill WWE, Vince was going to do it long before anyone else did. But it's less likely now. But now it feels like when WWE steps up their actual wrestling part of their company, everyone else does too. So I feel like the AEW, they being AEW, are in a good place because they have a lot of more motivation to be better and better ring wise. And you saw a lot of that, I think, this past Wednesday, personally. Especially when Darby Allin almost killed Brody King.
I mean, they step up in both companies. Like everyone sees there are places if my contract runs out and then we're at an impasse, someone else might want me. We've said it before.
Yeah.
Competition is good for wrestling. Everyone steps their game up. It was good during the Monday Night Wars. It's better. It's good now with Triple H taking over, and it's we're seeing this. It's more entertaining. We're seeing things that make sense on TV, basically. So.
And it wasn't big radical changes.
No.
It was like make the wrestling matter.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the biggest things going to affect it is we are going to get less of these, not vignettes, but less of these things which were solely done for Vince McMahon's amusement. Think about how many times there was like a segment or something that you were like, what was the point of this? And the point of it was to make Vince McMahon laugh. They've said for years, that's literally what he would do. I don't think Triple H is pompous or that far gone enough that he would book things just to go, oh, that made me laugh. I think he's going to book things knowing it'll maybe pop fans and the people that care wrestling. So, like, it mattered about that. He tried to make the United States title matter again first time in I don't know how long. Talking about its rich history, putting 2 triple threat matches to almost make like a mini tournament to face the champion. I really thought Ciampa was going to beat Bobby Lashley last week, or on Monday, I guess it was earlier this week. One match, and you made Ciampa seem like a legit. Well, he had the 2 matches, I guess, to get there, but like 2 weeks, and Ciampa feels like a legitimate wrestler. Like, it's not that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Punk said it best. Punk said it best in that whole sequence when we was doing the whole Summer of Punk WWE style, setting that up. You had the pipe bomb promo, and then when he came back doing the contract signing, he's all like, "My friends were fired. Why? Because Vince McMahon doesn't know wrestling like today." It's basically it, and it's funny when you come back and look at that. You look at what Punk said. You look at the whole Shane McMahon return, and how much of that is just coming to fruition now when you think long and hard about it. Some of the stuff that was said too, and
he wasn't.
No, that blurred the lines of reality and kayfabe too well, almost. So overall, though, this is a good thing. I'm actually looking forward to Clash of the Castle. Same weekend as All Out, of all things, too. So there's a lot to look forward to. SummerSlam, as we said, I said I give them until WrestleMania so I know that this is going to be going well, and I'll feel optimistic. I feel optimistic now, but Vince, I have to remember, still has voting power. He still has an influence on certain board decisions. I know he's retired, but who's to say he's just waiting for all this shit to die down, and he might throw himself back in the fold somehow, leading into Rumble and Mania. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, that's just, I have that in the back of my head. I hope he realizes how much better the show is, how much ratings are increased, and how much more the talk of social media WWE is right now. And just just enjoy your retirement. It's obviously earlier than he wanted it to be, but his company needed it, and they needed it for a while. And
Yep.
If he was too stubborn to see that before, if he's too stubborn to see how successful it is now, it's that's on him at this point. So
it's an ego thing for him. He can't help himself.
Yeah.
I don't think.
It really is.
Well, I mean,
he built his baby up on his own. I get that. He took it from his dad. The Terrys did that, but at some point you gotta let it fly. I mean, Jeff Jarrett built up CNA. Dixie Carter built it up too, but even then she had to let go of it. And now it's flourishing even more. So, yeah.
Well, it's like we talk about, like even like with Ric Flair, right? Ric Flair, the most legendary wrestlers of all time. His through the late 70s, 80s, 90s. I mean, something that most people won't be able to even touch or close to. But now, at this point, he just had his last match. apparently he passed out twice during the match. Like, he doesn't need to be in the ring. The same is true for Vince McMahon. Like, what he did for wrestling is immeasurable, and, you know, without him, obviously, it would not be what it is today. But that doesn't mean he's good at it forever.
Yeah.
Like, he's clearly lost touch. Now, granted, whether it was him and the people around him, apparently really making business still, you know, and they're getting tons of money in for their company, which I know in the end is what it's all about. But these last couple of years, WWE wrestling entertaining despite Vince McMahon, not because of him. Like, just because they had such, we've said this so many times, it was really because they had such talented wrestlers who, despite the crap they were given, would go out and make the best of it, put on great matches. Then this last year or two, I haven't even been able to enjoy those matches because it just that overall feeling with WWE was like, whatever. Now, these last couple of weeks, even their mediocre stuff I can deal with because they're doing the other things. You know, they brought back Dakota Kai and now Io Sky. All of a sudden, the women are important, right? Like, if you've watched two Raws, Control has been the big story of, like, Becky too, but Becky and her squad has been showing up like 2 or 3 times through the episode. You know, that's something we used to see in the day with, like, Stone Cold, Triple H, where, you know, they were the big draw, so they would show up a little bit here, they would come back a little bit later, you know. So it's little things, but, like, these are all things that Vince didn't think were going to give her. I'm pretty sure that they killed Ezekiel's character off with KO this past Monday as well, because the only reason Ezekiel was popular is because he was annoying Kevin Owens and what Kevin Owens was doing. But, like, he needs to go back to being Elias. That should have never changed.
No, it sucks because Elias lost his only twin brother. It sucks, dude. You know, they're 2 different people.
I think there's a younger brother, Elrod, somewhere. So
yeah, there might be. You know,
I don't know if it was up, like, in Jetson's gear. I don't know if it's that Elrod, but
Elroy, yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Matt says wrestling is an ego business, though. You know, it's hard to tell when it's getting in the way. Yeah, that's not just any business. I mean, that's any sport if you think about it. The NBA had to evolve. David Stern hates the guy. I really do. I hated him as a commissioner, but some of the things he did well for the NBA was build superstars, make them front and center. Nike had a big hand in making Michael Jordan a household name, and you know, bringing in some rich TV deals that have benefited the league more, and even some of the old ABA owners who still get a cut of that. Every sport's evolved. You know, the NFL had to evolve certain things after, you know, concussion protocols, changing the experience of making it more enjoyable to attend an event live than watching it on TV. Baseball's continuing to evolve. You know, it had to come back from the steroid, the strike into the steroid era and things like that. So NHL even basically lost a full season because of a lockout. They had to change the rules up a bit, and now I would argue it's one of the more popular and more fun sports to watch right now. Very underrated the way the NHL set up the hockey game, and it's changed the hockey game internationally too. So it's one of those things that you got to put your aside for the game, for your league, and in this case for your promotion to make it work. And Vince wasn't willing to do that. It wasn't until this stuff was coming out when overall, if he had stayed in, and this stuff was coming out, it was then going to affect his stock price. You know, so that's the only reason he backed out. Knowing him, he would have kept doing this until he died. Let's just be honest here. He would have been on his deathbed in Gorilla still trying to run a show.
He would have died in Gorilla in the back.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, he'd have been in a wheelchair still finding a way to make sure he wins the Royal Rumble. He'll find a way because it amuses him, you know? So, let's just see where it continues to go. I hope it continues to grow. This is great for wrestling, but there's one business model that still needs to change in WWE. If Triple H is deadly serious about taking care of the people that work for him, you need to get out of the independent contractor business. You need to hire these wrestlers as full-time employees and provide them health benefits. You can't be around as a loop. You know,
You're right, but that's not on Triple H. He's head of creative. That's on
Yeah.
Stephanie and Nick Khan now, because they're running the business, right?
Yeah.
Triple H making the product watchable and more entertaining again. That's on the old boss's daughter, and Nick Khan coming in here to surprise. I agree with you 100%. We've said that for years, but I don't think they're going to get crazy anytime soon.
Yeah, I hope.
One
right.
more question. Hold on,
Sure.
before we go. Within 5 years, do we get WWE AEW Forbidden Door? 5 years. Will it happen?
5 years, maybe.
What's the
Yes.
percent?
Yes, if you include New Japan.
But
Yeah,
Triple
I
H still won't do it.
I feel like the Forbidden Door thing. Obviously, it's a New Japan and AEW thing, but I don't know. I don't know. I would call it Forbidden Door, but
A joint show. I just meant a joint show. But
a joint show.
Well,
Forbidden
I think
surprise too. I mean, I would love to see it. So
no, of course.
I think New Japan
Yes.
would be game. It's not like they haven't worked WWE before. Like even decades past, there's like old footage of like Vince in Japan with Jushin Thunder Liger and stuff like that. It's not outside the normal possibility. It's just that a lot of egos will have to be set aside for who wins what. That's the only problem.
And I almost feel like you would need New Japan to be like the intermediary of like, okay, instead of you two companies deciding like who's pay-per-view, whatever, y'all are coming to this New Japan thing. You have some wrestlers over here. You have some of the wrestlers from their side. They'll have matches, but it's not under either of their. It's under like I know it'd be hard for like WWE to want to do that as much, but I feel like AEW and WWE trying to work together, that would be a lot more difficult than maybe letting some wrestlers, full companies wrestle under, representing, but under the banner of say like a New Japan.
Yeah.
They should do it in Japan. In that case,
well, that actually you gave me the idea for this question. Within 5 years, will we see a WWE wrestler under contract with WWE participate in the G1? And if so, who?
Again, maybe who? I have a few ideas. Kevin Owens is one.
Okay.
Bobby Lashley's another. I can see someone like Ciampa doing it. Sami Zayn for sure. That's about it.
Maybe Austin Theory.
Maybe Austin Theory. I don't know. I'm not convinced about that one yet. I would see more of the women wrestlers in like Stardom doing like their Grand Prix, their 5-star Grand Prix. I'd see that too.
Like Roxanne Perez going over there and doing Stardom kind of thing.
For sure. Well, good. Didn't she? She did Japan for a quick minute, I think, before she got signed. I think I'm wrong.
I think she had some matches over there.
She had like a quick tour, but it wasn't like any major.
Yeah,
but like you said, like I want to say like Bayley or Sasha or Naomi. I'm fingers crossed on that one. Bianca Belair versus Utami Hayashi. Oh my god.
Yes, John.
Sorry.
Yes.
Wait for you guys to participate. Yes, I mean
100%.
That would be good.
That
would be pretty epic. Can you imagine?
Sorry, I thought of Bianca and Stardom versus like Utami and Sayuri and Julia and 6 to Midnight doesn't even begin to cover it.
Waiting for Gunther to slap the shit out of Okada. That'd be fun.
Speaking of that, can we change names back now? Can Gunther go back to Walter? Can we get Pete Dunne back? Can we stop this bullshit? I'm so over it. Can we stop?
I honestly feel like he's gonna sneak that in eventually. Like he's waiting for a little bit of time to pass. Like I feel like Pete Dunne might be taken off TV for a little bit for some reason. Then he shows back. Although Gunn's the IC title, so that might be.
Just screw this name thing. I'm done.
A little more realistic. I think you, like Mike says, you get him off TV for like a month or two, and then he'll come back with his repackaged himself.
Yeah, I guess.
I think within say 2 months, that is definitely a possibility.
Yeah. One final thing I'll say is if you ever do get some sort of co-promoted show, maybe we'll finally get to see Roman Reigns versus Tama Tonga because they had that war on social media going back and forth for so long. Maybe we'll finally get the payoff on that, So.
I would love that.
All right. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Real quick, I'll share this with you because you'd find this funny. While I was off last week at the beach, my younger sister and her husband watch wrestling. So we were watching Monday Night Raw, then we were watching Dynamite on Wednesday, and it was Jon Moxley versus not this past. What was last Wednesday's match? I forgot. Anyways,
last Wednesday it was Moxley and
David. Did you catch the match? No,
that
I don't know. Anyways,
all right.
Anyways,
you go ahead. Sorry.
She was like, "Oh, Dean Ambrose," and I was like, "No, now this is better." She's like, "Whatever, I know him as Dean Ambrose." So the whole match, I was just like, "It's Moxley," and then after a while, I was like, "Mox won." Dean Ambrose.
That's funny.
He's better at Mox than he was Dean Ambrose. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
This is also true.
Fairness, she got in because of Total Divas and Total Bella. So
hey, stayed with it, right? So
yeah.
One final thing to point out news-wise, and I meant to put this on the agenda, but I'll just say this. Heavy rumors are out there right now. San Antonio could be getting the Royal Rumble in January of 2023, guys.
4 years early. Not that I'm good, but why would you mess this up at this point?
Why would you mess up the 10s on the 7s, basically? Every 10 years on the 7s.
30-year anniversary.
97, 2007, 2017. We're expecting 2027. Maybe they can still come back 2027, but sounds like they like the dome. They like the Alamo Dome setup for the Rumble. I mean, we were there. It was enjoyable. That it's very, very heavily rumored that we could be getting that soon. I know WrestleMania tickets just went on sale or about to go on sale soon, which is why we've been seeing that promoted a lot recently.
Right.
So very, very good possibility that, and this actually might become a new thing. I would think this makes sense because we just had WrestleMania in Texas, in Dallas. Why not have the kickoff to the next WrestleMania start in the state that it was the previous year? Dallas had WrestleMania this past year. So San Antonio, also in Texas, is starting the Royal Rumble, leading into WrestleMania of the following year. Maybe that's some sort of tradition they build up. Just a thought. I'm not overthinking it. I have no idea.
Ted, I see you, Chad. If this happens, backstage media, bro, make it happen, Ted.
I mean, the Countdown City WrestleCast could interview a few people. I'm just saying,
I'm down. So
volunteer as tribute, So
I would love that.
Bayley.
Oh man, Ted, I'm on it. Please.
Probably love you, Ted. By the way, guys, that is Ted, the Countdown City Geekcaster who broke the Giancarlo Esposito news. According to that, that's how you actually say his last name. Who broke the story that he was to play Professor X in the EU.
Many other
TikTok you've seen everywhere.
Yep. Countdown City Geeks TikTok. Check it out for that, and we'll try to develop some sort of like WrestleCast content for that as well. So, in the meantime, though, guys, let's talk Impact. We've been saying we're at our halfway point. This has been the best promotion in wrestling this year, and this card looks pretty solid for Impact Emergence, guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, for those wondering what exactly is Impact Emergence, this is basically.
Sorry, I just not that
true though.
Yeah. Oh God, I don't. Ted.
I'm so curious. Curious.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, this was kind of like it's an Impact Plus show. It is on a Friday night, and this is really their first major show since Slammiversary. And then, of course, this is all heading into Bound for Glory in October, which for Impact is their WrestleMania, if you will. So this is kind of there's a lot of scores we sell. There's a lot of like things that are happening here. The card itself is 9 matches and a couple of title matches on the pre-show. So the pre-show is going to be interesting watch. Something that you're going to want to tune in early for. So we're going to make some predictions on the matches here, and there's some doozies. I know For sure, Tommy at least will be split on a couple of them. And well, let's start with the first pre-show match here. Digital Media Championship. Brian Myers defending against Bhupinder Gujar. I'm sticking with Brian Myers. I mean, I think he's been great for the Digital Media Championship. It's going to be a chance for Gujar to showcase what he can do. Are you guys agreeing with that also, or what are y'all thinking?
Oh no, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. Unless I'm hearing you wrong, I don't know who he's wrestling. So yeah, I'm going to go Brian Myers. I'm sorry, I hate to say it, but you said
No, it's one of the younger
like,
talents. I think this is one of the younger
Okay.
talents. So it's a way to build it up. So yeah, but let's see here. The other pre-show match is actually for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie defending against VXT, which is of course Chelsea Green and Deonna Purrazzo. Now, I'm pretty sure this is one of the ones Tommy is pretty split on here. So, Mike, do you want to pick this one first?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and go with Vex to take the titles here. Again, it's Deonna Purrazzo, and she had that amazing run last year, or earlier in this year, I guess maybe. And Chelsea Green, I feel like finally getting a chance. Like we've talked about a little bit, like she always wound up getting injured, and just waiting for that big thing. And nothing against Rosemary and Taya by any means. I kind of reunited more recently, but I don't think it would hurt them much to lose the title. I know they got that story going on with Havoc or Jessica, who's now who's now good and bubbly, and I love that twist there. But I think it's time for Vex to have a little run with it, with some new blood, and I mean, can't go wrong with Yano Purrazzo and Green teaming up with each other. So
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. I agree with you. I'm picking them as well because I've realized when I see this, like, man, this is a dream tag team I never knew I wanted.
Yeah.
This is actually really good. And then, Rosemary and Ty, I'm not 100% sold that they work together. I almost feel like they just kind of fell together. And with Ty having some obligations to AAA, and I know it's pretty lenient schedule, I don't know. I think something more to this is going to build. So now, Tommy, moment of truth. Who are you going with on this one?
Rosemary and Taya. I'm so still torn, but yeah, I'll go them. I don't know, man. I just guessing that's.
Hey, I get it, man. You got to pick with your heart sometimes.
I can't do it. Okay, I just can't do it. I cannot. So yeah, Rosemary and Taya.
Pains you to call that out. So
yeah, it does.
Now, some of the other matches we got here, and we can make some picks on these if you guys want, but Bandido and Rey Horus.
Go Bandido.
Yeah, I like Bandido as well.
Yeah, I'll go Bandido. It's just I don't know. It's hard to count Rey Horus out because how freaking good he is. But but Bandido is probably I feel so bad for Bandido because I feel like 2020 was really going to be his year. Then the world turned off, and I think, and now when people see him on match cards, it's like they kind of forget what he had going right before everything happened. It was like people forget he was on a hot streak. He was beating dudes left and right, defending championships. He was the only guy who could unseat Roosh, it seemed, when he won the ROH World Title. Then he was the PWG World Champion. I really hope this is the beginning of his. I won't call it a comeback. He's been here for years. Points to anyone who got that reference. But I just hope that this works out for him because he's so good. He's so good. So yeah.
Yeah, and I believe he's still under contract with Ring of Honor too. So he's got a couple of spots to make some noise.
Yeah,
so.
I think that they're trying to hold on to those. Tony Khan is by that is because he's still trying to get him that TV deal. I think with Discovery was the last conversation I heard. So he's still trying to make that stuff happen. I know that was a big part of why they did Shark Week. Make Shark Week such a big part of their I think Fighter Fest.
HBO Max, maybe? What do you think? Ring of Honor HBO Max?
I heard that too. HBO Max is another one.
I mean, what would it hurt for HBO to put it on their? I can't imagine hurt them in any way.
No, it wouldn't. It'd be a great market. You'd get a lot of people subscribing just for the wrestling. You know, you can compete with Peacock.
They're not going to have any DC things to put on for the next couple years. I mean,
you just had to do that. You couldn't let that go.
Hey, I didn't cancel a bunch of content, and I didn't get arrested in 6 different states to put my movie in jeopardy. Okay.
In my defense, JC, the 6 states arrest thing he's got a really good point.
I get that. Yes, it's fine, but let's not forget Peacemaker season 2 probably in development, Titans, Doom Patrol, freaking season 3 of the Harley Quinn animated series just came out and it's fucking hilarious. So I mean, it's just HBO Max and DC is gonna be fine. Okay, I'm no qualms about it. Now, is Ezra Miller screwing shit up? Goddamn, yes, he is.
Yo,
like, come on, dude, use your safe word, pineapple, right? Remember we get that reference? Yeah.
But you mess with my connection. Can you still see?
I can still see you. Yes.
We can still see and hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we can see you and hear you. I don't know if you can hear us.
Wait, no, I got a warning first. It said your connection. I was like, oh, JC's mad. He's messing with him. My bad.
No.
My bad.
That's your service provider, right?
Moving
on. A match that I actually think is going to steal the show: Sami Callihan versus Steve Maclin. Good lord, I'm going Sami Callihan on this one. Yeah, I'm going with Sami Callihan on this one. What about you guys?
Sammy.
I'm gonna go Maclin.
Oh,
I feel like he's in the process of being built up a bit. And again, we've talked about it before. Sammy, one of those guys where losses don't really hurt him right now because he's probably going to make this hardcore at some point.
Yeah, like every feud he has, right?
Yeah, so I think it will actually help Maclin here a bit. They kind of continue to build him up, and Sammy back and hit him with a baseball bat or a kendo stick or a bunch of barbed wire, so it'll be cool.
I feel like everyone has the Raven syndrome of if it's a match I'm in, I can't do it if I'm not busted open and bleeding like I got shot. Like between Sammy and John Moxley especially.
All right, a tag team match that I'm sure people are going to be really invested in: Chris Sabin and Kushida against Violent by Design, the Motor City Time Splitters against Violent by Design. Got one half of each team here. Motor City Splitters, maybe.
Why not?
Yeah, this is an interesting one. Honestly might be the hardest one to pick for me the whole night.
I figured they're gonna just form a stable with Alex Shelley be called the Time Slitting Machine Guns. I thought that was next, but I guess I'm wrong. So. Besides, I said it out loud because I want that shirt that says "Time Splitting Machine Guns." I have to explain it to people.
Show. I don't know what I was looking at, but I could have sworn I saw something to that effect this week. So I don't know if something changed or there was a fan made, but I saw at one point where it was them together. So whatever combination they decide to go with for that name, I'm down.
Time Splitting Machine Guns, man. That's what I.
And this one I'm being safe with Kushida because
why not, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm down with that.
All right. Tommy, what did you say? Did you say who you're picking or no?
No, not yet. But you know what? I'll pick Sabin and Kushida because I like those guys and want them to be winning. And again, Violent by Design, a loss doesn't hurt them. So
yeah, I'll stick with that as well. Violent by Design, you never know. This is hard, but yeah, I'll go with Kushida. It was my initial thought. I just wasn't sure as I kept thinking about it.
Oh. Speaking of Violent by Design, I don't know if you guys heard this. Joe Doring is he's scheduled to be back in All Japan for a show or a tour pretty soon. I don't think it's permanent because I think he's still like flying the Impact banner there. But what I heard was he was just announced for something because like they're doing a tournament now, I think. And I think that's what's going on. Like, I think it's Championship Carnival. I think that's what's happening right now. And he was just announced for it. Not that he's like coming back full time. Not that I heard. Not that I heard.
Mhm.
So, but because like he was a multiple time Triple Crown champion there. I think that's who Kento Miyahara beat to win the title the first time. I think.
Yep.
So.
Back to the previous match, we talked about John. Straight up wrestling match. He thinks Sammy should lose here, so he's picking Steve Macklin. Yeah,
I
thank you
mean,
for that. As you guys are following along, please put your picks in here. You think
even if the rules are a straight wrestling match,
he'll
it's
find a
still
way.
Sammy Callahan. So the ref's getting knocked out for a bit, or something's happening on the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, around the outside. Yeah.
All right, 10-man tag team match: Bullet Club versus Honor No More, and there are some stipulations on this. Bullet Club, consisting of Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Gallows, Anderson, and Hikuleo, excuse me, are going up against Honor No More, Eddie Edwards, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, PCO, and Vincent, with Maria Kanellis Bennett by their side. If Honor No More wins, they will receive a shot at the Impact World Tag Team Championships currently held by the Good Brothers. But if Bullet Club wins, Honor No More has to permanently disband. I think it's safe to say, I expect this to be a pretty crazy match, but I'm actually picking Honor No More to win this one. I think this group has been actually really good for Impact. It's blurring the lines a bit, especially with Ring of Honor coming back, but the whole Honor No More thing. I'm going with Honor No More to win this 10-man tag match. Mike, what about you?
See, it seems like it would make most sense given how one stipulation is really drastic and one not as much.
Right.
But like I said, with Ring of Honor coming back, now that it's kind of more coming back more officially, do they drop the name Honor No More into some other thing? So they disband, but maybe they come together and there's something else. Also, are some of those guys interested in going back to ROH, a new Tony Khan banner? So I'm going to go on a limb and I'm going to say Bullet Club. I know it has been good as Honor No More, but I know even like Maria Kanellis has mentioned that she's open to talking to Tony Khan. Tony Khan even reached out to her. They had like a good conversation, if I remember correctly. So I'm going to go on a limb and make a little bit of a daring thing that they actually lose and disband, and maybe some of them wind up back in ROH soon.
Okay. And Tommy?
I'm actually going to go Honor No More to win it because I feel like they're going to have it both ways. Like, they're going to win to get a tag title shot, but at the same time, these same guys are going to show up in whatever new incarnation of ROH shows appear and try to blame Tony Khan for, quote unquote, ruining it, because that's what I've been seeing. I feel like they're going to kind of take the ridiculous fan argument and use that of Tony Khan ruined ROH. When, correct me if I'm wrong, but did they not have to close the company 8 months ago because the people who owned it originally effed it up so bad? I feel like you kind of give Tony Khan a break since he's been in charge of it for all of 5 months. No, 4. He took over in April.
Yeah, I bought it right before April. So, hey, he's saved Ring of Honor. You know,
I think you give the guy a break since he got them a pay-per-view, and they still not even on TV. It's like, Tony Khan's going to ruin ROH by putting them on TV and keeping their belts relevant. Excuse me? How does that make any sense? Because he could own ROH, and he is not obligated to put one match of theirs on any of his programming. That's entirely, he can entirely do that. That's his call. I wouldn't agree with it, of course, because I love ROH. But apparently he does too, because the Ring of Honor World Title was the main event of one of their Saturday shows. So it's like, I feel like they're going to incorporate that. Certainly, back to my point, I feel like they're going to incorporate that with Honor No More. They're going to, win this match, get a tag title shot. Whether they win that or not I'm not sure yet. I'm trying to gauge that in my head. But whatever incarnation of ROH is created, they'll go there. And Tony Khan is trying to block and stack the roster with just his guys and not give any of the original guys a chance. And that's why you guys ran off Jonathan Gresham and blah, 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 blah. Ignoring the fact that and meanwhile, again, poor Bandito was like, I was champion for a year and no one gave a shit.
Yeah, he hates the rules. That's why
Yeah.
Joe's one of their champions. That's why Claudio's the champion.
He hates the originals.
That's why
Jay Lethal was repeatedly on TV. So because he hates the originals.
That's why he's using their pure championship to give credibility to
Build
one
up
of his young stars that
Wheeler
he's
Yuta.
trying to build up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he hates ROH.
And
all right.
And Josh Wood, Josh Woods, who was pure champion before, just had him on TV recently, and I don't even think he's officially signed anywhere. But okay, sorry, Tony Khan's ruining Ring of Honor. I'm sorry, that's my point. He's fault. It's all his fault. You know.
Yeah, people have those opinions, right? All right, moving on. X Division Championship. Mike Bayley defending against Jack Evans. Sticking with Mike Bayley to retain here. What about you guys? Same.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Bayley's going to go on a run with that title. And
I don't know if you guys
all
heard
due
this.
respect to Jack Evans, but
does he take the
opportunity
that comes across at Bound for Glory? Do you think?
Possibly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bayley Alexander would be a hell of a match.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, another hell of a match that I know Tommy's going to have to pick hard on this one, maybe. Jordan Grace defending the Knockouts Championship against Mia Yim. Oh.
You there, Tommy?
I think his audio just cut out. No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tommy.
No, you're good.
Can you guys hear me?
Off and on. It keeps coming in and out.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I know.
It's a little delayed.
I fixed it. Damn it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Seems to be a little bit better.
Okay. Let's see. Is that better?
Yeah, you're probably like a few seconds behind, but yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. So
we'll let you
Jordan
go.
Grace and Mia Yim. Go for it.
Mia Grace.
Not Jordan Yim?
Jordan Yim?
Jordan Yim.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Mike, who you got?
I'm going to go with Jordan Grace. I mean, I love Mia Yim. I'm glad that she's back, under contract and on TV more often. I'm not sure if it's the time to put the title on her. I think Jordy's, like we talked about, needs a solid run with the belt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to stick with Jordan Grace.
Yeah, same for me. Going with Jordan Grace. I think she's been great for the company. First digital media champion, and back into this role at being the Knockouts champion. I think she'd be a great person to be defending the title, heading into Bound for Glory, which is just a few months away. So, all right, Tommy, we've made our picks. Now, no more delaying. You got to make one here. So,
okay, I'll go Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace, okay.
Mia Yim, forgive me.
Nah, if Mia Yim wins, she's going to give you some shit. I'm telling you right now, it's probably so.
I have to stay on social media because of her and Lance Hoyt all the time.
Yeah. All right, and finally, Impact World Championship, Josh Alexander defending against Alex Shelley. I'm going to stick with Alexander. I expect him to hold this title, making a good run with it, at least through Bound for Glory. I don't know what's going to happen with Bound for Glory, but I have to stick with Alexander. Same for you guys, or do you think Alex Shelley pulls off the big win here?
No, I'm going Alexander.
No. The bigger show that yes, but I'm going to stick with Alex.
Okay. Cool thing, man. So, well, those are our predictions for Impact Emergence. So how can you watch if you're interested in the show? And we've been saying it for the better part of this year. This is the best wrestling promotion going on right now in 2022. They've been putting on some amazing shows. This show is going to be this Friday, August 12th, from Cicero Stadium in Chicago, Illinois. Starts at about 7 p.m. Central Time. The pre-show starting at 6:30. The pre-show is going to be on Impact Plus and the Impact Wrestling YouTube, and the main show itself is going to be on Impact Plus. $7.99 a month, definitely worth it. There was a great video library. Impact has been investing a lot this year into their Impact Plus service, doing these live events too. So definitely check it out. I think it's going to be worth the watch, and you won't be disappointed. So I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm pretty sure you guys are too. So
Yep.
Indeed.
see where Impact's going. Yeah. So. All right, and with that, we can move now into our 1 minute warning segment here. For those new to the show, this is basically where we each take a minute, talk about just whatever. It can be wrestling related, anything related, and tie it back to wrestling if we want. Some of these are fun, some of these are serious. It's whatever we want to do. So, Mike, do you have something this week?
As always.
All right, whenever you're ready, sir, and go.
You know when you're watching an episodic TV show and some big cliffhanger, big event happens at the end of one episode, and you can't wait that whole next week to the next episode. But then the next episode is like totally different storyline. They totally don't do anything to the end of that last episode. You have to wait another week. That's what I felt like. Because at the end of the last episode I was on, I was like, bring back Bayley, please. Then at SummerSlam he does. And I don't get to be out here next week to bask in the glory. I just got comments as I was walking from the beach, Bayley with hard eyes. But finally, the two have reunited. Claudio is now on TV again. Bayley is now on TV again. And this has now become the Countdown City Claudio/Bayley cast. And I will continue to call it that as we move forward. They are my two favorite wrestlers, both male and female, specifically. And unofficially in my headcanon, they have an epic love story, even though I think Claudio's married and, Bayley may have someone. But, that's just my...
Fan fiction. Mike's fan fiction.
Yes.
If you will, so. Tommy, you got something this week?
I actually don't think I do. I think I'm good this week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Wait, I want to talk about how you and Jace now have a common enemy in Lance Archer?
I thought he was going to bring that up. And
maybe.
first of all,
I'll let you explain the story, and I'll kind of go on with it. So, Tommy, go ahead. Your minute starts now. Have at it. So, 'cause I'm sure you saw the event. Yeah, go for it.
I mean, we have a common enemy in, Toru Yano. Because Lance Archer beat Toru Yano. And, I'm sorry to call Lance Archer my enemy because one day he's going to hear one of these and then he's going to beat me up. and no one's going to stop him because I'm a friend. I saw you raise your head, and no one's going to save me. He's going to beat me up. Lance Archer is going to beat me up. I'm saying it here now. So if I ever get beat up, and they say there was a tall white guy with long hair, it was Lance Archer. And yeah, I mean, we kind of are enemies. I can't deny that part because I do antagonize him quite a bit, and he threatened to kill me on a regular basis. Which is why I'm really glad I wasn't first to pick me out of the crowd. All right, there's the plant, but is that Tommy?
I guess I can jump right into it now, just kind of piggyback off of that. Look, here's what I'm going to say about the whole ordeal. Toru Yano probably let the man win. He's cool, calm, and calculated. The G1 isn't the ultimate prize. It's not the ultimate prize. The ultimate prize, as I have been saying all year, is that King of Pro Wrestling Championship. And, Shingo Takagi, you're just keeping that shit warm. That's all you're doing, bro. I'm telling you, whether it's 11:55, 11:59, New Year's Eve, Toru Yano's going to sneak in and claim it last minute and piss off a lot of people. And that's ultimately what he wants to. So, but granted, I've loved this whole ordeal. I like how New Japan just does this. You know my love for Toru Yano. Just pissing people off. It's great. He's just a character. But Mike, you asked me about the whole Forbidden Door thing. If it happens, they better correct the injustice that was AEW New Japan Forbidden Door, and Toru Yano better be on the next one, whether WWE is involved or not. Straight.
Toru Yano versus R-Truth.
Yo! Yo, I'm in for that. That sounds amazing.
Or
Yo,
triple threat of the Forbidden Door: R-Truth versus Yano versus Orange Cassidy.
I was
Boom.
just gonna say, yeah, boom.
Boom.
That's the main event. What are you talking
That's
about?
the main event. No title needs to be on the line. Just let that be the main event. So
I
mean,
want to go back to one thing real quick, going back to Tommy's thing with Lance Archer, because I have mentioned previously, Tommy, that I told you I would jump on his back if he ever did try to attack you. But also, after that last mission show, I told you, you bring some of these things on yourself, as we repeatedly tell the story of me simply trying to get an autograph from somebody and you harassing them. Plus, I shared with y'all, Mission Pro and Holidead shared a TikTok video from that last show, and it's Holidead yelling at Jasmine Allure, who's outside the ring, and whose arm do you see in the video pointing at Jasmine, antagonizing his arm, pointing at her, antagonizing her in the middle of a match at ringside. I love you, bro, but sometimes with your history as a fan, you kind of bring it on yourself.
Okay, all that valid argument notwithstanding, if you ignore the facts of the case, I'm still not the wrong.
Fair enough. You bring a good point.
Hey. Apparently, this is very popular to do right now, so I plead the fifth. Okay, just saying.
wow.
Yeah, got it in.
We're done. Good night, everyone. Have a great evening.
Oh my God.
Tommy, that might have, of all the great things you've said, that might have been the best I've ever.
Thank you
Thank you, my
everybody
friends.
for watching. Oh my gosh, that was insane. Thanks for everyone. Again, Impact Emergence is this Friday. Next week's show, we're going to recap it. And really, beyond that, there's not any sort of major events. We'll talk a little bit more about what's going on with Dynamite. We'll see how it plays out, of course, with CM Punk's return.
Actually, maybe, Tommy, me and you will help preview the Mission Pro show they're going to go to the weekend after.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah,
cool.
That's the 20th. So next week, maybe we'll talk about it a little bit as well. And then the week after, we can talk about our experience there.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
I am always ready to talk Mission Pro. Oh, by the way, real quick,
before Mike has to go back and the school year starts.
Yeah. So. This Saturday as well. Simply Lush Promotions. Simply Luscious. She's one of the owners of it with her husband. They're doing it. They were it was just gonna be a regular show at first, but now it's kind of a tribute to Mike Atwell, who passed away. I'm gonna do my best to be at that show. So just if anyone watching wants to make it, I think the doors open at 5:15. It starts at 6. It's in shirts, so right outside San Antonio. But everything's on their Facebook and other social media. But yeah, just if you want to go pay tribute to a really great ref, really great dude, then yeah, that'll be happening this Saturday.
All right. For everyone watching, if you check out Impact Emergence, please let us know your thoughts. You can comment here on this video. You can tweet at us at CCG_WrestleCast. Let us know your thoughts. We'll try and read some of them next week when we recap it. And also be sure to join us. Mike and Tommy are going to talk and might take over hosting, talking about the Mission Pro show they're going to be attending as well.
Maybe the following week we could have some interviews or maybe at least some words from some of the wrestlers. Let's see. I know Ted has been telling us that for months, so let's see what happens.
It's been a crazy.
If I can try, look, I know a couple people who work there. Let me see if I can organize something, especially with La Rosa Negra. That would be awesome because she is such a world travel veteran.
If nothing else, maybe we should try to get some updated the intros that we have that JC got on.
I would like that. I know nothing. I mean, we need some. The pandemic kind of shut down a lot of my interview plans for the show. And I was able to get one from Angel Blue over during the pandemic, obviously. But there's more I'd like to get, and for anybody else to, maybe there's somebody out there. I'm looking to interview a lot of independent workers, and honestly, one thing I would love to do, and shout out to all you hybrid School of Wrestling graduates or students or trainees right now. Would love to interview you guys as well. A lot of people don't exactly get interviewed until they're big or popular, have had quite the career in wrestling, but I think it would be cool to hear the story of why some students who get into wrestling and why they want to do it. So yeah.
If you do Richie Garcia, your son has to ask at least one question.
Oh, I can't wait. And yeah, my son, by the
Oh, but
way.
yeah, we have to have a UFC style like showdown. We have to like hold Jay back, man.
Oh, I'm sure they would be all for it. And he was 2 when that happened, guys.
Yeah.
He's 5 now, and just started.
Imagine Jay saying in 13 years, I'm whipping that ass.
I don't know, dude. He's 5 now, and I'm pretty sure he's like bigger than at this point. And I don't mean that as a slight to Jay. Just
talk shit. I mean, Jesus, that's hilarious. I can't stop that. We're just gonna go from here.
We're
done. Thank you, everyone. Over here, we got Tommy. If he can catch his breath.
Okay, thanks, guys.
We got Mike.
Thanks, guys. I missed this so much. As fun as last week was, I always love doing this. Be nice to each other, guys. Even though I was just kind of mean. Be good to each other.
And as always, heels and baby faces. Remember, pro wrestling is real.
People are fake.
Be safe out there, guys. We'll catch you next time.
Adios, Gunther.